Hey guys, right now this we're gonna be looking at what's World Culture Wrestling on their website, talking about Impact Wrestling. And as y'all know, as you guys don't know, I'm a big Impact Wrestling fan. All the way back when it was in TNA, I started watching Impact Wrestling back in 2013. That was literally one of the last years of AJ Styles, and that's when I saw AJ Styles feuding with Bully Ray. And when Jeff Hardy was there, Chris Sabin, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, Eric Young, all those guys. So yeah, I was introduced to Impact Wrestling in 2013, and ever since then, I've been a whole fan of it. And I've been with them when they was about to be bankrupt, when they almost pulled the plug, right all the way back to their renaissance currently right now. And right now, this article was dated back literally a year ago in October 16, 2020 by Ronnie Valier. Sorry if I say your name wrong. But here, World Culture is saying 10 ways Impact Wrestling can become major players again. Because we know, like, right now, the biggest, biggest wrestling companies are WWE and AEW. And we all heard what happened to ROH. Oh, they, do their renewal of, the resurrection. But as right now, those are the two major companies, the main attractions, WWE, AEW, and and Impact Wrestling, has some, spurts, of attraction, but still viewership and all that, yada yada. Okay, so it says Impact Wrestling has finally turned things around, but how can they become major players again? Okay, let's see what they're saying. It doesn't seem all that long ago that TNA Wrestling was a major player. They were on Spike TV, had a roster that boasted Sting, Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, Booker T, and Christian Cage. Oh, in addition to an exciting X division that included AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels. They had a unique matches like the Six Sides of Steel and the Ultimate X inside of a six-sided ring. That's a weird sentence. TNA had a successful niche wrestling product in an industry that had seen it all. See, this is one thing I want Impact Wrestling, right now, 2021, to bring back is the six-sided ring, because that made them different from WWE back in the day. So I'll love it if they brought back the six-sided ring. You know. However, in 2009, President Dixie Carter brought in Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff to help run the company. We all know about that. The star power of Hogan and Bischoff initially worked, but TNA soon lost its ways. The company was rebranded Impact Wrestling. The six-sided ring was scrapped in favor of the traditional one, and the company started to look and sounded like Diet WWE. That's what I thought at first when about Impact Wrestling. I thought, just a weaker WWE back then when I was in my elementary years. The promotion would soon experience a downward spiral they almost didn't recover from. Oh yeah. New major owner Anthem Sports and Entertainment finally have Impact Wrestling back on the right track. But will it take for Impact to be competitive against WWE and AEW? Let's find out. So what they have at number 10, increased roster depth. Well, in recent news, I know you guys have been hearing a whole lot of signings from Impact Wrestling, so they're on a good start. All right, but let's continue what they're saying right here. WWE has set standards for creating roster depth, but they also have the most resources to do so. With NXT, they can replenish Raw and SmackDown with fresh faces regularly. It allows WWE to develop stars like John Cena and Roman Reigns slowly. AEW realized the importance of development, and they use their AEW Dark program partly for that purpose. WWE and AEW also create depth by bringing in veterans who work well with the young talent. Dustin Rhodes in AEW is an excellent example of someone who can work with and elevate young talent. Tommy Dreamer, which is not with the company anymore, and Eric Young are two Impact veterans who could help develop young stars. Uh, Impact Wrestling Impact also needs to find a way to keep young talent under their control. The best way to do that without breaking the bank would be to use Explosion as a feeder system. Increasing roster depth will be crucial to Impact's ability to run with the big dogs. Yeah, Impact Wrestling has not been like they have not been promoting Explosion, or Explosion has not been you know rarely mentioned. They in their gut check when I was watching in their on the Impact Plus app, they got Shogun Steel, and Shogun Steel barely got any attention whatsoever. So I kind of like how they say, that should be, their development show, Impact, Explosion. And yeah, add Explosion to either as a weekly thing or whatsoever, so we can see developing talent. I can say one talent that's really developing is my guy Chris Bay. That's my favorite wrestler in Impact Wrestling right now. Number nine, continuing the nostalgia tour. Okay, bring back old favorites like Ethan Carter III and Eric Young is smart business. I hope Ethan Carter does come back since the ROH releases. Every pro wrestling company should every pro wrestling company uses the nostalgia strategy, and it works. WWE has brought back such as Kurt Angle, Hulk Hogan, and Bob Backlund over the years. Although AEW doesn't have a long history, there's a history of wrestling on TNT and using talents such as Chris Jericho, Arn Anderson, and Tony Schiavone is brilliant. Impact Wrestling has a vast potential for growth by bringing back some past stars. Several big names are available, and their return would be great for Impact's bottom line. Sting, Bully Ray, and Taylor Wilde are all free agents. Although, well, not Sting, that shit did. Although wrestling is out of the question, Sting will make a great ambassador and could also do some one-offs as GM for the night or enforcer referee. Ray and Wild had great runs with the company and could help strengthen an already solid Impact roster. Well, we saw a brief, Christopher Daniels popped up, but then he didn't show up again. I don't know why. What's up, TNA? What's up, Impact Wrestling? We need more Christopher Daniels, man. Get global. That's number 8. Acquiring more international talent could be difficult for Impact Wrestling. Not right now. Remember, dude, this article was back in 2020. Considering the current world conditions, however, it has slowly down but not stopped WWE or AEW. Both have issues like WWE with Bobby Roode and AEW with Pac, but both rosters are well represented globally. If Impact wants to play with the big boys, they would then they will have to find a way to inject its roster with talent from New Japan Pro Wrestling Noah, and AAA. Well, currently right now, they have relations with New Japan Pro Wrestling and AAA, so that's a good sign. This will be especially important for the development of the X division, which could use an influx of high flyers. Bringing in international heavyweights would also be a good idea, though they need to do better than the previous owners, who famously botched Kazuchi Okada's American expansion. Yeah. Doug Gallows and Carl Anderson should be used to mend fence with New Japan Pro Wrestling over Okada's misuse years ago. A review relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling could also produce the Bullet Club in Impact, which they're doing right now with Chris Bay and El Phantasmo and the big guy, Hilikalo. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Number 7, elevating the X Division, which they surely did. Today's Impact Wrestling X Division lacks the punch of the old TNA Wrestling X Division once had, or the tear down the house ability WCW Cruiserweight Division had in the late 1990s. It is booking that is holding back the current X Division. However, it would take much for Impact Wrestling's X Division to have a real impact once again. Pun intended. There are too many slow paced one on one matchups and too much talking in the X Division. There need to be more fast-paced multi-person matches and far less in-ring promos. Impact needs to have a electrifying multi-person X Division match to start each show. They should be doing the X Division to hook viewers from the get-go. There's already a solid crew of X Division style wrestlers on the Impact roster. However, to increase the entertainment value, they should bring in some international talents as well as some surprises, very much like the WWE's Royal Rumble. Well, one thing I can say that they have elevated the X Division, and from the previous months, like from Bound for Glory until now, um, they are really doing that international work. And also one thing I could agree is like the matches in Impact Wrestling. Sometimes it's like slow. Like the matches doesn't really tell a story, and the referees get distracted too much, which is getting really repetitive. I hope Impact Wrestling changes that because that referee distraction is really repetitive. I don't like that at all. Number six, do not be WWE light. When Impact Wrestling was the new kid on the block in 2002 and was known as TNA Wrestling, it was a new company trying to find its identity. And when it did, it was the breath of fresh air that pro wrestling fans needed. From the breathtaking X Division to the six-sided ring to the less talk and more action model, it was everything that WWE was not. Sure was. And we all loved it back then. However, Dixie Carter hired Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff to help run it. They eliminated the six-sided ring, which they should surely come back. Slowed down the pace, which nah, they should never slow down the pace. And increased promos and interview segments. To the dismay of the fan base, they unhearsed in the WWE light era in TNA wrestling. They sure did that, and they lost a lot of viewers. Those days are long gone, but Impact Wrestling still has ways to go to dif, differentiate. Yeah, damn, that's a tongue twister. It's from the other wrestling programs. They will be well served to do the things WWE is not or doesn't do well and make their niche. Yeah, yeah, I like when back then, in the early 2000s, I mean in the mid 2000s of TNA, it was like fast paced and hard hitting, more like the Japanese strong style matches, which TNA was. They implemented that strong style, which brought the more realism, sports like thing. But I hope they do bring that type of style of match, and also I hope they do bring back the six-sided ring. Number five, land a major television deal. Okay, let's see what's up with this, because I know Access TV got you guys to go. They got to get a different one. I know that for sure. With the impactful world champion, if and a few established game changers added to the roster, Impact Wrestling would be in a position to land a major television deal. They could use a network with greater reach than Access TV provides. Pro wrestling can be a hard sell these days, but AEW help made the sale a little easier. However, AEW needed a lot of things to go their way to secure the deal for AEW Dynamite on TNT. Impact Wrestling will have to be aggressive and creative, but AEW have proven that doing just that can land a deal. A network like Paramount, formerly Spike TV, could be a future home for Impact Wrestling. It was once the home of Impact Wrestling and Monday Night Raw. Maybe they would be open to pro wrestling returning after seeing the success of TNT has experienced after it brought wrestling back to its network. Yeah, recently I was thinking like, what other channel should, you know, Impact Wrestling air on? Because Access TV, nobody can access it. Um, I don't think I don't think, them going back to Spike TV, that's not gonna work. I was thinking about like probably AMC or what up, probably AMC or some or like the Freeform channel, things like that. That's very like that every cable could watch, or probably the Sci-Fi channel because I know SmackDown was on that. Um, but but yeah, those are the few channels on that's popping on my mind that I believe that Impact Wrestling could land most definitely because they do have the money for it. You know. Number four, crown an impactful Impact champion, which they sure did in Bound for Glory. Remember, this article is back in 2020. The current Impact Wrestling champion, Eric Young, is a solid veteran talent. However, in comparison to the WWE champion Drew McIntyre, WWE Universal champion Roman Reigns, and AEW champion Jon Moxley, Young doesn't measure up. And through no fault of his own, he just had no momentum coming off his WWE run. His run with WWE. There are 3 stars on the current roster that makes sense for Impact's top prize. Unfortunately, two out of the top three are feuding over a defunct championship. Ethan Carter III and Moose are being wasted in the senseless feud over the TNA championship. These two should be knocking on Young's door instead. Hopefully, that's where it lands. Sami Callihan will also make a more compelling Impact Wrestling champion. Callihan is a former champion who tells good stories in the ring, is solid in the mic, and has an interesting gimmick. Young would be better used as a part of a faction chasing the tag team titles. Yeah. But what we recently saw, the feud with Christian Cage and Josh Alexander, that was amazing. And that out of nowhere cash in by Moose, very kind of a resembles to WrestleMania 31. But hey, man, like Moose is really a better fit as a world champion of Impact currently right now, and I'm happy for him. Number three, sign the Impact voice. You're well, we got what's his name, Josh Stryker, but I definitely know what you mean, like Mike Tenay and the other guy. I believe his name would pop up in this article, but anyways. This is not to suggest that Impact Wrestling should replace Josh Matthews or Madison Rayne. However, the television product needs to take it up a notch as the commentators table. They need someone that can either push Matthews to be the lead guy or someone who can simply be the lead guy. Impact Wrestling needs another steady voice to lend credibility to its broadcast. Impact could go the established route like AEW did with Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone, or obscure like Excalibur. It might depend on the level of confidence they have with Matthews in the lead position. An established commentator, who should be on Impact's radar, is former NXT and SmackDown's commentator Mario Ronaldo. I'm sorry, Ronaldo is a Ronaldo. Ronaldo is a talented as they come, and has also called numerous MMA and boxing events. Okay. Yeah. Impact Wrestling, you should really consider him. Sign him. Adding someone like Ronaldo to the Impact commentating team will give Impact Wrestling a big event feel week in and week out. I really think about that. Yeah, I think Impact Wrestling should really think about that. Number two, develop the female Impact player. Why would they say player? They should say wrestler. Dumbass. Anyways, Impact Wrestling must develop their female face that runs the place. They currently have a talented young knockouts roster, but they need that one big name to anchor the ship. WWE and AEW have their top females, but have followed different paths to acquire them. WWE has done a great job with homegrown female talents like Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. They have also gone international routes with Asuka, and AEW did the same with their women's champion, Hikaru Shida. Shida is still developing drawing power, while WWE has established stars with ready-made drawing power. Impact Wrestling has a number already on their roster. Impact has a unique female talent. They should they should give the ball to and let her run with it. Jordan Grace is a talent. Is Jordan Grace is talented. Has a great presence, and she's different. Grace can take the knockouts to the next level. But currently, right now, Jordan Grace is the digital media champion. Plus, also, I wish Kiera Hogan still stayed with the company because she was so flamboyant and was different. Just brought that pizzazz to the knockouts division. I really thought that she was gonna um lead up to winning the knockouts champion, but she just bounced out. Went on doing better things. But we still got Tasha Steeles and her new tag partner, and man, her new tag partner is a beast. I could really see her winning the knockouts champion for real. We still got Deanna Peraza. They really just signed what's her name? The one girl that won the knockouts now down tournament. They recently signed her. And also Lady Frost. They signed Lady Frost. So currently right now the knockouts division is looking good. The only thing that they really got to develop right now, besides the singles, is the tag division. They really got to develop the tag division. I mean, they currently got the inspiration, the iconics from WWE, but I believe that they should add more established tag females in their division instead of just mashing up single stars and call it a day. But yeah, that's my take on that. And last but not least, number one, develop the male impact player. Why they still say player? They're weird. I like how they put Ace Austin in it, but I feel like right now for similar to how the Ruthless Aggression era, how they had damn near two of the guy of WWE back in Ruthless Aggression with John Cena and Batista. I think that's what they're doing. Same here in Impact Wrestling. With me seeing the developing stars like Chris Bay and Ace Austin, I see those two as being the guys of Impact Wrestling. But anyways, if Impact Wrestling is going to move into the WWE and AEW conversation, then they need an impactful top guy who will help move the needle. Both big companies have their top guys, and there is no question that they help grab ratings and revenue. There are a couple of ways Impact Wrestling can acquire their top guy. They can either stay in house and develop one like WWE did with Roman Reigns and John Cena, or sign one like AEW did when they signed their 1A and 1B, Chris Jericho and John Moxley. Impact Wrestling has a talented young roster, and they have a guy that fits the bill. Ace Austin is a rising young star who is versatile in the ring and outstanding on the mic. That's facts. Austin is also a compelling character that doesn't necessarily need the world title to be in the man. It is time for Impact to send him to the top, which they currently did. I think he had currently right now, I remember watching one of the Impact Plus events. He did feud with Christian Cage, and it was an amazing match. Oh my gosh. He had the crowd electrifying, and I believe him. He could really draw numbers. It's just a matter of time. Same with Chris Bay. I believe Chris Bay could draw viewers. Right now, every week when I watch Impact Wrestling, they keep saying that Chris Bay's merchandise, like his shirts, are the number one popularity sale that on the Impact shop on the Impact website. But yeah, this part I say if they get EC3, they'll really drop numbers, and all those top ROH stars, I believe they'll definitely get viewers, especially with EC3. I really hope EC3 does come back home to Impact Wrestling because back in the mid 2010s, when EC3 debuted in the Battle for World 2013, all the way to his departure in 2017, like EC3, he was the guy, man. He really anchored that company. I was entertained every time he was on the mic, when he wrestles, everything, bro. And just if he comes home, I want him to fulfill his, him being EC 3 times world heavyweight champion. But with this article, it happened over a year, happened last October, and well over a year. And currently, right now, Impact Wrestling is on a good route. They're gonna sign a lot of talent. I believe that they should add a second show, the developmental show, Explosion. More, it should be promoted more often. Um, they should, they're developing the guy, either as Moose or Josh Alexander currently, and they are establishing their knockouts division. We seen Madison, no, not Madison Rain, freaking Mickey James, really guiding the young Impact knockouts in the right path. And also the X division, it's coming back. The X division is slowly coming back. So that's all I have to say with this article. There has been a lot of changes ever since the article came out, and right now, just Impact Wrestling is on a great route. All they gotta do is just get those viewers and get those attractions, which is really hard. I don't think Access TV is the right way, and I believe try to go AMC, the AMC channel. That's one thing off the top of my head. But that's all I gotta say for this article. And I'll see y'all next time in the next Impact Wrestling video.